Netflix, really strong day yesterday. Opened around 1200, peaked at about 1247, closed at about 1239. We're actually trading up towards yesterday's intraday high here in the pre-market. Remember, they have earnings tonight. Let me go back to, you know what? Let me go to the daily chart here just to kind of give you an idea of where we're sitting. I know we were talking before when we were waiting for this. We really wanted Netflix to pull back to the 200-day. We got a pullback towards the 200-day, but never really quite got there. Now it actually looks like it's recaptured a lot of these kind of in the sideways move here. Let's see what the options are predicting here for Netflix. Market makers are predicting a $80 move. $80 move here for Netflix, currently sitting at 1238. I mean, this thing could easily make a run at all-time highs if it does end up trading higher here on the back of that earnings report. Let's dive into what's expected here. Streaming giant Netflix no longer reports subscriber figures with its quarterly result, which could make management commentary on past and future content even more important in reading between the lines of how the company is keeping its current subscribers and trying to add more. The company reports third quarter financial results on Tuesday after the market closes. Here are some of those estimates. Analysts expect Netflix to report third quarter revenue of $11.51 billion. That would be up from $9.82 billion last year's third quarter. The company has beaten analyst estimates for revenue in 8 straight quarters. So pretty good winning streak here. If that turns around, I think that could actually kind of be bad. We'll see how the market behaves here today. But 8 straight quarters in a row of beating those estimates. Analysts expect Netflix to report third quarter earnings per share of $6.97, up from $5.40 in last year's third quarter. The company has beaten analyst estimates for earnings per share in 6 straight quarters and 9 of the past 10 quarters overall. So revenue in 8 straight, EPS in 6 straight, but also 9 of the last 10. Pretty good track record here. I think if they miss, that actually sets up for a pretty good down move. I don't know if that's the case. Honestly, I really don't think. I suspect, gun to my head, I suspect Netflix is going to beat here today and trade higher. That's just kind of where I'm at right now. A strong content lineup that included K-pop Demon Hunters. Gotta say, I have no familiarity with this, so I'm going to have to lean on the group to tell me if this is any good. A current lineup that included K-pop Demon Hunters and several live sporting events could help the company match guidance. Bank of America securities analyst Jessica Reif Elric said in a recent investor note. The analyst reiterated a buy rating and a $14.90 price target ahead of the quarterly results. Elric sees subscriber momentum in the quarter coming from ad-supported plans and live events. Elric also highlighted Netflix integration with Amazon in the fourth quarter, which will expand ad buying options. The analyst said that the integration could improve Netflix's ad demand. Now, I think what this means, I obviously use Prime for a number of things that I watch. I also use YouTube on Sundays to watch the Sunday Ticket. And I've noticed that whenever I use those apps, there are ads like the commercial that plays. There's but you just press the OK button on your remote and it immediately takes you to the checkout for that. I wonder if they're going to kind of fold some of this in. And I guess my question for the group here, have any of you folks actually bought a product from an ad that you were given on Prime, Netflix, or otherwise? I see those. I know they're trying to make it easier to buy. I get it. It just hasn't worked for me. I kind of think I might be in the minority there. So I'd be curious if anyone has actually seen a commercial, been like, oh, I need product. Let me buy it real quick, and carried that through. Kenneth says, no way. Yeah, that's kind of the way I feel. Cam says, nope. With you on that. To me, I know that they're kind of forecasting some of this. It's just, I don't have any way to really compare that myself. I'm not moved by these ads, if you will. Netflix's, let's see. Here are some other analyst ratings and price targets. Seaport Global went from neutral to buy in a $13.85 target. Citigroup has a neutral rating, but raised the price target to $12.95 from $12.80. Loop Capital upgraded from hold to buy, and the price target went from $11.50 to $13.50. Netflix's third quarter content slate includes the highly successful K-pop Demon Hunters movie, a second season of Wednesday, several live events, and the third season of Squid Game, which came out only a couple of days left in the quarter. K-Pop Demon Hunters is an animated kids movie. It's the streamer's most popular movie of all time by viewers, man, and was a surprise smash hit in the quarter. The firm had 325.1 million views and ranked in the top 10 Netflix English language films for 17 weeks. I definitely seem to be the boomer there. I've never even heard of this. Along with high viewership, the movie saw a short theatrical run for a sing-along version. That's been a strong consumer product staple and has songs that topped Billboard's charts, and we'll likely see some more of the most popular Halloween costumes for kids this year. The film debuted on Netflix on June 20th, which was in the second quarter, but the majority of the film's success will be in the third quarter. It has been some time since a streaming giant has had this much fanfare around it, dating back to the early days of the first season of Squid Game on Netflix. I remember that. Netflix actually was a great trade around that first Squid Game season. While Netflix had a strong lineup content in the third quarter, investors and analysts will want to hear more about the fourth quarter lineup and what the company's expectations are for revenue and subscriber growth. Remember, the big thing for me, Netflix has multiple NFL games coming up in this fourth quarter here. To me, that's the one thing in the history of the company that has moved me to buy the streaming service. It did it last year, and it's going to do it again, full stop. So I think that there's actually going to be some pretty good stuff coming up in this quarter, which is also one of the reasons why I'm interested in it for this particular earnings season. The company has a fifth and final season of Stranger Things coming in the fourth quarter and will also release 2 NFL games on Christmas Day. These items could be among the most viewed Netflix programs of all of 2025, and both of them come in the fourth quarter. While Netflix doesn't break out subscriber growth figures or estimates, revenue growth in regions and overall, along with the updates of the overall health, could signal higher membership figures. The company highlighted more members, higher pricing, and higher advertising revenue as the season's second quarter revenue and operating margins were higher year over year. A Netflix ad-supported plan is another big area where analysts will be focused, as this is one of the key growth catalysts for the company as subscriber growth matures. Company looks to boost revenue per subscriber. The earnings report from Netflix comes as the streaming giant faces pressure from billionaire Elon Musk and the Pentagon over content deemed woke. Musk calls for his followers to cancel Netflix, but that came well into the fourth quarter. Whether the company's comments on subscriber strength or if it's seeing any high cancellation figures remains to be seen. So I don't have any info or line on that. Personally, I wouldn't trade it based on that catalyst alone, but that's just me. I'm more interested in what kind of forecast they have for those NFL games. Again, last year they went off without a hitch. This was after the Jake Paul fight, which was marred with a whole bunch of streaming problems. They had it all solved for last year. I would imagine the same is going to be true this year. And I suppose I look forward to buying another month of Netflix so I can watch my NFL games.